God.
Okay.
I got my jammy on.
You should. You know.
Doing it. She's spraying herself.
And there's Grandma. And Pat and Greg and Peg. And you see the flags on the table. Yes.
Now these lovely candles.
So, yes. Candles where? Okay, there. Alrighty.
And paper yo-yos.
And there's Molly. Yes.
See, I was going to do that, and then I had to shoot.
There's Tristan.
Yeah, didn't Tristan get my glove?
You got your glove.
Oh. That one looks like it's a bit bigger.
Not much.
They're making ice cream, American style. Maybe British style too, I don't know.
But it does it take in black and white? I didn't think so. I thought it just showed it in black and white now. Alright, just picking up. How it is. They turned 30, they just started.
Olivia, we love it here. Have you seen all the dogs?
Yeah.
Yes. There was like a whole park for dogs living in here.
She could be smelling dog.
Ran over the lily. Well, you're supposed to put a plant in a bed.
Well, or along the edge of the drive or something.
Yes, well, so we, the day before I left to go to Tucson and Molly went to camp, I had to get everybody ready. And my dad brings in a huge load of dirt. Okay. You know, you could take Michael's bouncy ball and
Fizzle down to precious few or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has.
I do too.
I think that's in those pool toys. You just really...
Just slap him if he tries.
Do what?
Grandma. You get away. I mean it.
Go over and eat out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Tell him that.
John's over there.
How many bowls is that, John? Couple? I don't blame you, it's pretty good.
I'm waiting until he takes some.
Just one continuous.
And watch his hand.
Let me up.
Yeah, nice.
See, that's Alfie. How do you do that?
Something that you would find different, but I don't know if
Dana?
places.
Those are the officers' row houses, and they're really interesting the way they're all restored. They are really quite old, but they don't look as old as... That's the skyline of Portland, and we're on the Vancouver side. Went at the Washington, Victoria, Fort Vancouver Fort's what it is. And it's really...
Slopes down to the Columbia River, stood Fort Vancouver. Today the site is marked by the partially reconstructed complex visible in the distance. Established by the Hudson's Bay Company during the 1820s, Fort Vancouver was for a quarter of a century the most important settlement in the Pacific Northwest. Here were the headquarters for all the Hudson's Bay Company activities west of the Rockies. From its warehouses went supplies to the scattered interior posts for brigades of fur trappers which ranged as far as Utah and California, and for the vessels and forts of the coastal trade which extended north into Alaska. It was here that the furs of the entire western trade were gathered for shipment to England.
Oh, now this is pretty.
The National Park Service has tried to recapture a bit of what life in old Fort Vancouver was like. Explore the fort site, its reconstructed stockade and buildings. Look at the tangible remains of life in the museum exhibits. To understand old Fort Vancouver is to understand a vital link in our national heritage.
They're barn swallows?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at his mouth.
Uh,
We have those at our house,
you do?
but they're orange.
They're what? Okay.
$5 out.
That's Fort Vancouver. We're just standing at the beginning of it, and I'm going to come around, and I'm going to get Fort Hood if I can get to where I can see it. Just a minute. Now there's Fort Hood and Fort. The other fort has a round tip because it's lost its tip. Fort Hood is pointy. That's how we tell the difference. That's what Patty says, so that's what I believe. To get everybody together here to do something is really a challenge. There's Mother, and Brad and Peg and Tristan are over here. Come back around, and there's Ray and Patty, and I have no clue what's going on. We're still working on trying to get everybody together here. But Michael, turn around. There you go. I like the hat. So just trying to get everybody all here. Egg, she's just changed her shirt because it was just a little bit too warm. Can you believe that? The day is beautiful. Okay, there's the map, and that's where we're going. Everybody's going in. Let's hope we can keep them all going here. There goes Mother and Brad. Are absolutely beautiful. Going to have to move to Washington to be able to get things to grow like this. Really neat. I like that. Close up.
Sitting there with the hollyhocks.
Yes, that's a good deal. Where's the other ones? I got it too close up. There we go. We'll try for that. You can tell for sure that I'm not to the Academy Award stage yet for pictures.
The grows alongside the road.
Yes. Yes, and we couldn't begin to get it to beg to grow in Las Vegas. Okay. There's Michael again. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. Because they're much too.
There we go. Try that better. That works better. Thanks. I love the zoom feature. There's Michael in the hedge. These are more of the gardens, all the different colors, and there was a bumblebee here a few minutes ago, and Michael took off because she didn't think she really wanted to do the bumblebee. There's the tunnel. There's more of the cornflowers, looks like, and yellow garden stuff.
She hadn't seen that. Now she wants that. We got these.
All those long, same size pieces of wood, logs, yes?
Sometimes.
I'm having a heck of a time keeping up with that airplane. Oops.
You have a fox at the very top. Its motto, translated to English, a skin for a skin. Be pretty honest about what it is they are in business for. When they arrive here, it's the winter of 1824, 1825, and they are coming here to build a headquarters. And their families live inside the walls of the fort. The white painted building over here, this is the chief factor's house. There's two families in there. Between the chief factor's house and the small wooden building in our corner, which is the last family, there's a long wooden building in the back of the fort, which was by its name. However, many of the gentlemen and their families live. There are maybe 30 to 50 people that live inside the walls of the fort. Most of the workers are this way. Now once again, despite the fact this is a British fort, there really aren't that many Englishmen here. Some of those gentlemen, they're English. Most of them were Scottish. The company liked to use young Scotsmen as its clerks, and a few French Canadians. Even among the workers, not that many Englishmen, never mind Europeans. The ones that work on the ships, they're usually English. There are Scots again, mostly from the islands around northern Scotland, like the Orkney Islands, and a few Irishmen. Many of the workers here are French Canadian. Anytime you got the fur trade in North America, you got French Canadians involved. If you got French Canadians, you have another group called the Métis. These are children of French Canadian fathers and Indian mothers. The Métis and the French Canadians make up a good portion of the population here. There are American Indians here. Not only local people like Chinook, Multnomah, Lickitat, but also New York and even Canada. The company's bringing the Iroquois out to keep the local Indians out of the trap. Trap is not a big part of the culture. It's not very important. Things like trade with the Sioux was much more so. Eventually, the company deems most local Indians lazy. They didn't want to travel with people. You imagine not wanting to work with the Hudson's Bay Company. Although, personally, I think actually a lot of intelligence in there. But because of that, so almost half of the workers here, 40% of the workers at this fort are Hawaiians. Coming for the same reason everyone else is, they can make more money here than they could back home. Although, I'm not sure that is worth giving up a winter in Hawaii and being here instead. But could be. Lots of Hawaiians here. Now, despite all the other things that go on here, all this agriculture, that sawmill, the shipyard, it's still all about fur. And there are two ways the company obtains all these furs. First off, direct trade with the Indians. They've been doing it for centuries. At this fort, that's not the primary method. Hold on a second. We'll have lots of the dramatic pauses throughout the story. Kristen's going to bring this around, and you're going to let everyone feel this fur. But if you feel underneath the guard here, you feel the soft under fur. That's the important stuff. It's scraped off the hide, and it's turned into a felt. And that felt is used to make gentlemen's hats. Hats that are virtually waterproof, which is an important thing in England, not to mention here. Very good, Tristan. Bring that around. Let everyone feel that. Let's go back to 100 people. Men, women, and children. There are usually more women and children in these fur parties than there are men, usually 2 parties a year. One went east into the Rocky Mountains, especially into the Snake River Basin, and one south down into the mountains of California. And they're going to spend, in particular, the winter and the early part of the spring trapping fur. That's when the fur is the thickest. At 5, he was forced to retire for a number of different reasons. He goes south of the Columbia River down to Oregon City, where he owns some land, builds a house, and eventually he becomes an American citizen. Today, he's called the Father of Oregon. Pretty nice title. He recognized what he had done for these early American settlers. As Oregon becomes a territory of the United States of America, a bunch of laws are created, one of which took away all of his land. When he dies about 10 years later, he owns practically nothing. So now not only has the company that he worked for over 20 years betrayed him, so has his adopted country. Kind of a sad end. When he's here, this was the nerve center. Not just of this fort, but really the Northwest. Many of the decisions that affect day-to-day life out here are made inside by Dr. John McLaughlin. Like I said earlier, there's 2 families here. Dr. McLaughlin and his wife live on the west side. On the east, James Douglas, he's second in charge here, lives with his wife and 4 little girls. He will eventually become the first royal governor of British Columbia. The house is great for talking about lots of different things. It's very good for talking about and demonstrating things that we... You can put it right in that peg up there when you're all done.
It is. Oh, I like that candle holder. That one.
This room is what we call lunch. That's their big meal of the day. And supper is what we usually call dinner. That's a small meal of the day. They did not eat with their families. We don't know why. We're not sure where this tradition comes from. It's not a typical English custom. But in many ways, these meals may have been business meetings. Now, since Dr. McLaughlin is in charge, he's up here at the head of the table. James Douglas at his side. And as your importance declines, you work way down to the end of the table. The title of the lowest ranking gentleman here is postmaster. He's down there. But he has nothing to do with the mail. Now, the food, this is also a good way of talking about the differences between the two classes. The workers get all their food once a week on Saturday. Not going shopping once a week, they get off an hour early. They get 3.5 pounds of salted salmon, 1.5 pounds of sea biscuit. Anybody know, you've seen a sea biscuit before, haven't you? Ah, all right. Anybody know what sea biscuit is? Well, yeah, it's like hardtack, except it's flour and water baked into a disc shape so hard you can practically drive a nail with it. But it'll last forever, it keeps alive. The difference between sea biscuit and hardtack is hardtack usually has salt. Sea biscuit doesn't. Although, when there are potatoes around, they get a bushel of potatoes instead of that sea biscuit. Now that's enough food for the man. If there's a family, the company does not feed the family. So any other additional food that's needed, either he has to be purchased at the sale shop, or he's going to go hunting or fishing on Sunday, the one day off a week, much to the minister's dismay. Or his wife, who's probably a local Indian or Métis woman, knows where things like camas and wapato and berries that are native to this area can be found. Now let's compare that with the gentleman. And we'll use this table. This is actually set for dinner. The big meal of the day served about noon. You will start off with a soup. Soups are water-based, lots of finely chopped vegetables, particularly tomatoes when they're in season, a little rice to help thicken it, and a little duck for some extra flavoring. How's that soup sound so far? Yeah, okay. Once that's done, you clear away all those dishes, you lay another set, and then you're going to start on your first of what's probably 3 courses of meat. Maybe you start off with a roast duck. How's that sound? Yeah, okay. You clear away that dish, you lay another set, and then salmon. How's that? Like, oh, boy, you're going to be tough to feed here. No, that's salmon. You clear away all those dishes, you lay another set, and then boiled pork. How's that sound? Okay. Clear away all those dishes, you lay another set, and then you're going to start in what's probably 2 courses of dishes that have fruits or vegetables involved in them somehow. Maybe it's a fruit pie. You like apple pies? Peach pies? Okay. How about a pudding? You do? Ma'am, I'm going to sneak right.
Go ahead.
We'll give you a front row seat. Another table set. We do not know where the ladies ate and the families ate, but there are a few possibilities. Years that Dr. McLaughlin and his wife ate a meal together. So it gives a pretty good indication about how things were different from what. Even a bit before that happens, the company sees where this is all going. So they move their headquarters from here up to Victoria on Vancouver Island, which is now British Columbia. As that happens, the importance of this place begins to decline. The United States Army arrives in 1849. The war with Mexico is over. They got troops they can send out here. Plus, a couple years before that, the Whitmans out near Walla Walla managed to get themselves killed by the Indians. So all the Americans.
This is the blacksmith shop. And they're
See
actually,
how all of a sudden now it's starting to get
Actually
smoke,
working
that
still.
yellowish kind of smoke. That's actually the sulfur burning in there. And what that is that's creating a fire that's almost worthless to me because it doesn't generate enough heat. And but I will do that as the day goes on, because doing that in one section of it, here again, it helps burn that filter. If I didn't keep piling green coal on the side of it, very quickly burn out into the fire and then not have any food for the rest of the day. So it's a with a coal fire, it's kind of an ongoing all-day management process. And for the different kinds of smithing that you do, you need different kinds of fire. Here again, we do everything, like I said, via the 1840s technique, so we don't use any kind of modern welding equipment or that sort of thing. If we want to fasten 2 pieces of metal together, we either use traditional joinery, which is typically riveting or mortise and tenon, or we actually forge weld it. One of the best examples of forge welding for this shop is the Hudson's Bay trade axe, which was called the strap axe. Of course, back then, we used modern alloy steels and high carbon steels for cutting edges. But they, of course, they would have used wrought iron, extremely soft, very little carbon content. So they would have started with a strap of wrought iron that would have been folded around what's called a mandrel to form the handle hole. And when you bought this from the Hudson's Bay Company, you would have made your own handle. You would have got it, you would have just got the axe head. But the important part is you can see that we would have sandwiched a piece of high carbon steel, maybe a piece of old file, or some of the high carbon steel that get kept in supply here, which is much harder. So now I've got a metal in here that I can actually temper and harden. But to leave it just like this piece would come right out under use. So what we have to do is we heat this, basically this sandwich of materials up to about 2600, 2700 degrees, which is welding heat. That'll actually make the surfaces, all of the surfaces of the metal molten. Then as we hammer on that, those surfaces will actually meld together, and what you end up with is a piece of metal that's virtually indistinguishable, if it's done right, virtually indistinguishable from one single type of metal. But the important part is that from about here up, now I've got high carbon in there, and now I've got an edge I can sharpen. So as I sharpen that. And typically what would happen, unlike today's disposable society that we have, when they wore that out, they wouldn't just throw this away, they'd bring this back in, and then the blacksmiths would weld another piece of high carbon to the side of it, and thereby making it usable again. So this is actually superior to a modern weld if done correctly. With a modern weld, you'd either be using a wire feed or a strip welder or a torch, and you'd only be welding around the outside edges. This is actually welded across the entire surface, so it's actually making it stronger. Back then, if they used anything else, because the wrought iron had a really good sticking ability because of the amount of iron in it. If they used anything, it probably would have been river sand. What we're using today is I mean, and that keeps a real nice, clean, glass-like surface over it, melts down. You get a lot of good capillary action out of that. It'll get right in there, and mainly what it does is it lowers the melting point of the scale, so that you get that scale and suspension. When you hit, you've seen this, when you hit the stuff flying out, that's the rack shooting out on the scale, and so what Dean's doing here is he's making a pair of tongs. Of course, that's something that we have to do on a regular basis. Every time we do a specialty kind of work or have to do some work that doesn't maybe fit the collection of tongs we have, we'll either modify a set we have or we'll make new ones. Oftentimes in blacksmithing, whether back then or even now, we'll spend a lot more time making the tools that we need to do the work than we actually do doing the work. And then sometimes when we finish that job, because it is a specialty job, we'll never use that tool again. And so you kind of think, oh well, you've wasted that time, you've wasted that material. Well, for us, we kind of enjoy the ultimate on-the-job recycling. If this doesn't work for me anymore, I just stick it back in the fire. I can either disassemble it and then hammer it into something else, or I can just take these jaws, leave it assembled, put it back in the fire, straighten those out, put a different shape on them, and now I've got another set.
Oh, Libby. Hey, what you doing, old girl? Come on, go get Uncle Don. Yeah.
Found out about the
Go.
loss.
No, you're not going to? Okay. I guess who is out checking out the new paint job? See, there's the trim on it. The garage door is up just a little bit, but there's the color of the trim. I think it really did nice. Made the house look totally different. I've put rock in the front where the grass was too. And everything has grown so tall. And there's Olivia again checking out, but there's no food out here, so I doubt very much that she lasts very long because it's pretty hot. Well, let's go around to the back and see what the back looks like. Huh? What? Tell me about what? Huh? What do you want? Oh, really? What's in that closet? Huh? You want to tell me what's in there? Yes? A little slow am I that I don't realize what is there? Okay, well let's... Yeah. Oh, really? Huh. Oh. You don't look very pathetic to me. No, you don't. And you know what? Dana doesn't believe you do this kind of stuff. No, she doesn't believe that. But I just thought I'd put it on tape so she'd see it. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay, let's go outside. the trim on the back door, and we're up on the roof and along the side of the house. And I really like what he did with the posts on the patio. Let me get up to where we can see them. I think he did quite a job. See the green on the posts and the trim around it and everything else. He did a really good job on this, and I love the color. Really dressed it up a lot. The trim on the back door, but you can't really see that too well. So it looks really nice. I think I'd recommend him to anybody for the work he did. So Liv and I are going to go in now because it's hot. Why not, Jess? It's Jessica. She's eating peanut butter and jelly goober sandwich. This is before we get busy and do anything, because she's resting and I'm going to go take a bath, because you sure don't want a picture of me. She's got her hair done and she looks really, really cute. And there's Jess. We're going to eat lunch pretty soon, and they're both going to kill me with this camera if I don't get out.
So now what do I do?
We are playing a game of Old Maid. It's not Old Maid.
Who's losing?
Not me.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I've only got 6 cards. I've only got 5.
Like what?
Barney is a dinosaur.
Okay.
Tell me you're not recording.
Who'd that remind you of?
Grandma.
Grandma. Oh, I love that. I have to have one of those doorknobs. That is neat.
What do you got over there, Jess? 8s?
It's a limited 2.
You're recording.
Hi, Grandma.
So
There we
it's
go.
going to be on film.
Uh-huh. Cheers.
What a slacker we
Okay,
did.
who could go first?
There we go.
Go fishy!
Look at my cards.
Mm-hmm. I got him. I got you on record here.
Jessica, do you have any...
Okay, here's Janie sorting all her new stuff for school.
Hello.
Really interesting things here. Miss Jess, turn around so we can see you.
Hi.
Hi. What all you got there anyway?
Book covers. Binder, book covers.
Mm-hmm.
Paper. Where do pencils go?
Yep.
I don't even know where I got some shiny pencils somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue where my pencils are. But they're elegant.
Yeah. Jessie's new sheets waiting to be washed. So we'll get them all washed and then we'll do one with her new bed. And your new bed that we did the sheets before. And there's all the pillows we made today, and they spell Jessica! New paint job. And her new wallpaper. It's a bed, and it's really bright colored. Pillows that we made today. Pretty soon we're going to put them on her. Okay. This is another saga of... I have Pat and Mother in the motel room at Portland. Now I have Pat and Mother here. And I asked them where we're going to meet next month. Hey, here's John winding up or blowing up the mattress with help from Addie. And that's the way we do it in this family. The animals have to show us how. We'll do it, Addie. Yeah, there you go. Yes, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, this is Utah Zion National Park. Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to... The kids are making fun of my...
And then get the sign in there and you never have to remember what it was.
Uh-huh. We like zoom it out. Mm-hmm. Where did Mary go?
She's right there.
Over there. This is at Alice's cabin, and the chipmunks are up eating out of the bird feeder, and they're having quite a ball. We've been sitting watching them and the blue jays come up all morning and feed. But Jamie would really enjoy seeing this. keep looking for hummingbirds at the humming feeder, but there aren't any there right now. But back. Come back so we can see you. And where are the hummers? Yes. Blue jays have been up in the tree, but I don't see any there now. Maybe they've had all they wanted to eat for a while. You can also view it with this. You can wind it up back and view through that. Okay, they told us all to get out of the pool because there's a neat storm coming, and it's like a storm, whether it's neat or not, something else. So it's on its way. Watch the little wispy girls on the clouds. See the water, how they're blowing in.
There's like no pools or anything open.
Well,
It's gonna be so bad because they ask the people inside pool to get out.
yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a pool anywhere in a storm like this. There,
Lost our
checked out, and we're going to get out of here pretty soon, and it's getting really warm. Okay, there go the three fish off to the ocean. Let's see what happens. There they go again. That's what you call footprints in the sand. Yep. We're getting closer to that pier. That's where I want to go. Record. Alright. Where are you? Yes? And who knows what got Jeff, okay? There's Mickey and Jeannie again. Really coming in through the around the pillars on the walkway down there.
Right here? Hey, get him! He's so fast! He just ran into Grandma's leg.
Oh, okay.
Arrange your feet. Are you finding any? It's a whole real slow for me.
Jeannie and Mommy are trying to catch a fish. It's a real elusive fish.
It's just a chasing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Why is she wearing a folded vest on the...
Talk a little bit here. You're concentrating, huh? Oh, Dana.
Oh, it's a video camera. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yes, this is a video camera. Yes. Look at the mess.
It took us half an hour.
All the, yeah, right. You know, this is a Saturday afternoon project. Uh-huh. The tombstones. There's a tail under the table. And we'll try it from this angle now. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay. And pretty soon, we'll do it with the lights on when it's... Come on in! We're busy taping this mansion. Come on in!
Libby. Hi, Libby. What does everybody do? Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, my guys.
Hi.
In her living room, and it's all white.
I was making a video for school.
Oops, there's a snowman on the couch too, and all kinds of snowmen on the cabinet. Their way, all decorated with the lights. And there's Grandma standing looking it all over. And that's Grandma running away.
That's good. Take a picture of my big one. That's cute.
Okay.
94?
There's the little tree in the entryway with the little snowman lights covers. And the nativity set that I knocked over the two wise men. There's the moose by the fireplace. And she's really got a lot of decorations up already. And that's the future spot of the other tree. I have the feeling that that's most of the stuff that's supposed to go on it. And there's the fireplace. Put it there and get down and see what you think of it. I thought it... No, more in the center, honey. It doesn't...
How about there?
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better, really?
Yeah. You just needed something at the top to bring it up a little more.
Okay. Are you taping me?
Yes, I'm gonna watch you fall into the tree, and then I'm gonna sell it to America's Funniest Home Videos,
Is that okay?
and then make $10,000. Is that okay? Looks good.
We're gonna keep a copy.
Just dream on.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Done now. This morning, and Dana's on the phone talking to Mona, and I've been out cleaning up the backyard.
Oh.
And there's Dana and Nancy. And Olivia is somewhere down there. Let's see, where is Olivia? Uh-huh. I'm looking for Olivia. Oh, there her is. Yes, good Merry Christmas, Livy. Yes. And Dana's still talking away. That's my tree. And the tree topper from Germany. From the castle, which only John can say the name. And the fireplace. And the sound effects in the background are Olivia, in case you hadn't gathered that. There's Dana's presents. My presents are in the middle bedroom because we can't trust Olivia to stay out of them. Miss Nancy is being a good girl and sitting there quietly behaving herself, and the penguin, God only knows what it's doing. There's some more Christmas clutter.
Okay. Did he? Oh, he hasn't eaten all his stuff yet, he said. All his stuff yet. He said he still had his sausage and cheese left.
Guess who is waiting to unwrap presents? And look at all the presents all around. And I think only one of them is hers. Is she going to be bummed out or what? Can't believe she's being that patient, just sitting and waiting. But there is something in her sock out on the light post. But she can't have it. It's just kind of there. Something that'd make her sick. That's a bummer too, I know.
Hey.
Opening her present.
Livy, it's for you.
There goes the old paw. There goes the old teeth. Let's rip it open. Get it going, girl. You haven't been that slow before.
You're doing some wrapping inside there. It's got 2 layers of wrapping too.
Mm-hmm. I can get around to where I can see her better.
Usually quicker than that.
I know, it's hard to open.
I know there's a plastic wrapper on it as well though, Dana.
Yeah, I think that's...
You're going to have to unwrap the unwrapping.
What did you do to me, Dana? I may just have to do this paper and all, you know?
I gotta take the plastic off. Oh. Here, man. Here, man. Hold on. Oh. Jeez. Oh. I think I got it.
Well, she's going to be sick if she eats that, but oh well.
Dana, you should have peeled my...
There she is. Hi, Livy. Say, Brent.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This is the mess after the... And there's Livy doing her usual thing. Yes. Yeah. Here, Jay. Hey. Dancy and Dana. Mother. Yes. No dessert for anybody, huh? This is the aftermath, and there's Miss Cindy, who survived the turkey thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
They just need that website on there for this other.
Yeah.